Good evening, students. Welcome back to the second part of the first chapter of the Civics, the Indian Constitution. Today we are going to discuss about the key features of the Indian Constitution. But before we go for that, let us go to the history of making of the Indian Constitution. I feel very happy today itself discussing about the history of the Indian Constitution, because when I am recording this video, it is the Baba Saheb Ambedkar Jayanti, that is 14th April, on the day he was born. For decades, our national leaders have struggled a lot to gain the independence. And finally, after the Second World War, when the British government decided to make the India independent, the Constituent Assembly was formed, including 300 members in the year 1946. It took 3 long years for these more than 300 members to discuss, debate and meet and then finalize that what the country will look like, what the free India would be like. So our constitution was ready by November 1949 and was adopted on 26 January 1950. There were a lot of issues in front of our leaders or the members of the Constituent Assembly when they were framing the Constitution of India. For example, it was the time due to the partition where great communal riots were going on into the country. The country, which was a diverse country where people belonging to the different religion and caste all were living. Not only that, even the princely state remained undecided that what they are going to do in future, whether they will be joining India or they are going to remain independent. This took a long discussion among the leaders, those who are framing the constitution, and then finally they came up with from all these issues and the constitution was framed, solving all the issues specially related to the equality. The Constituent Assembly framed the constitution and gave the country a visionary document that reflects the respect for the diversity while maintaining its unity. Now let us discuss about some of the key features of the Indian Constitution. The first and most important feature of the Indian Constitution is federalism. It refers to that there are more than one level of the government. In a country, vast country like India, where millions of the people were living, it was not easy that the government would be at the central level only and few person sitting into the capital city and will be taking the decisions for the whole country. For that reason, the federalism was adopted. What is federalism? It is the vertical division of the power. That is, the country would be having the government at the 3 levels, or which can be said as the 3 tiers of the government: central level, state level and the local level. The issues that are to be decided upon in central level or the state level are separated by the list made in the constitution, and every state is having its authority to make the decisions mentioned in the state list, whereas the country, the union list, is making the issues that are related to the whole country. The second feature of the constitution is parliamentary form of government, which means that the people of India have the direct role in electing their representatives, and this is granted to them through the universal adult suffrage. That means everyone in the country who is above the age of 18 years will be having the right to elect their representatives through voting, irrespective of their caste, gender or religion. Not only that, any person can also contest for the election irrespective of his social background. The third feature of the Indian Constitution is separation of powers. How this separation of power is done? It is also known as the horizontal division of the power, which shows that the powers will be divided among the government in 3 different organs, that are the legislature, the executive and the judiciary. where the legislature refers to the elected representatives of the people. The executive is a smaller group who is responsible for implementing the laws and running the government, and the judiciary is the system of the courts. Now, why this is done? So that one particular organ does not get all the powers in its hands, and that is why the powers are divided so that one organ can keep the check over the functioning of the other organ. The fourth feature of the Indian Constitution is the fundamental rights. This is one of the most important feature of the Indian Constitution, where the Constitution guarantees the rights to its citizen against the state as well as against the other individuals. Some of the fundamental rights are as right to equality, which means that every person is equal before the law. Every person has the right to go to all the public places. There should be no discrimination among the people on the basis of the caste, religion or gender, as well as according to this right, the untouchability also has been abolished. The second fundamental right is right to freedom. That means every person has the freedom of expression, speech, to move from one place to other place in the country, to reside in any part of the country, as well as can practice the profession or the business of their own choice. The third fundamental right is right against exploitation, which stops the human trafficking as well as the child labor or the forced labor. The fourth right is the right to freedom of the religion. That means every person in the country has the freedom to follow and propagate his religion. Religion cannot be forced on anyone or cannot be asked to follow any religion. Every person in the country is having the freedom to follow the religion of their choice. The fifth right is the cultural and the educational rights, which says that the minority, especially belonging to the different religions or on the linguistic basis, they have the right to form their own educational institution so that they can preserve their culture and heritage. The sixth one is right to constitutional remedies. According to this right, any person who feels that his rights, fundamental rights, have been violated by anyone, either it is the state or it is another people or the group of people, one can go to the court and ask for the justice. The next feature of the Constitution is secularism. What is meant by secularism? Secularism means the state, that means the country, does not support any one particular religion or has not announced officially that this is the particular religion of the country. Every religion is given the equal status in the country and no religion is promoted by the state or by the government. More about the secularism we will be talking into the next chapter. I hope you all would have understood the chapter very well. Now it's the time for the assignment for you. This is today's assignment that you all are supposed to write in your notebook. Okay, the answers for this assignment are already given in the textbook. The link is provided to you by the school, so you all are supposed to see the answers from the NCERT book app. Goodbye everyone. Stay at home. Stay safe. Thank you.